Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Goodness Margin, the place where we find margin for the good things in life. So today I'm talking about toys. Toys, this is a question I get so often. People ask me on my blog, they ask me on YouTube, they ask me on Instagram. We are all concerned about toys taking over our life. If you followed me for any length of time, you know that toys were what sent me over the edge. It's what made me really deep dive into a minimalistic lifestyle. And so today I just want to address a couple of things about toys. First of all, when we look at minimalism, I've actually had people say this to me, that they feel that I'm depriving my children of something because we make very conscious decisions about what toys we allow into the house, about how much that we purchase for our kids, and about how often that we purge those things and get rid of toys when we have too many. The reality is what I have found is that my children thrive in a clutter-free environment. If my daughter only has a few things to play with, that seems to be when her creative juices really start flowing. And she plays with a lot of items that are not even toys. She loves to use her little kitchen utensils, and sometimes she'll even use something that I use in the kitchen. Obviously, we'll wash it before I use it again. But kids can be really creative, but sometimes they can be really overwhelmed by the amount of toys. Have you ever walked into a toy room and it's just absolutely full of toys? I find that my kids don't really play very much in those environments. And so what has worked for me is I only keep toys in certain places of the house, and we work on a consistent basis to minimize those toys. Now, if your child is old enough that they remember what toys they have, they know what they have, then you want to start this process with them. If you have really young kids, you can purge on your own. But if you have kids that are old enough to be a part of the process, go ahead and let them be involved. And rather than focusing on what they're getting rid of, focus on their favorites. So you have a couple of toys laying here. What are your favorites? What are the ones we want to keep? And then we're going to let the rest of those go. You're cultivating a lifestyle for your children. I recently stumbled upon a new tip. It just came to me, and it's actually worked really well, and I want to share it with you today. So what I would find, my daughter, we have a closet downstairs, and it has a couple of baskets. It has one basket that's just kind of your miscellaneous random toys. It has a basket of little people. She has a little dollhouse with it and some little princess little people things, and just this basket has those things in it. We have a box of blocks and a box of puzzles that are baskets that she is on a higher shelf that she can't get to on her own, and we'll pull those out. So mainly downstairs she plays with the little people and then this miscellaneous basket. And what I would find is that she would dump out this miscellaneous basket right in the middle of the floor in front of this closet and grab the few things that she enjoyed playing with. And consistently, there was just these random toys that were left on the floor that I felt like she didn't play with very much. The same thing for these baskets upstairs. She has a basket of dress up, that princess dresses and a pirate costume, those kinds of things that she loves to play with. Those are down here. And then this is a miscellaneous basket of toys. And so she would do the same thing with this. She would dump it out and leave these random things around. So what I've started doing is just kind of collecting these random things that I find that I feel like she doesn't play with. And I have put them in this basket up here. It's too high for her to get to on her own. And I'm keeping things here. And in the last month, only one time she asked me for something. It was this little tiny stuffed animal that she said, "Mom, I can't find it. Can you help me find it?" So I'm going to give this some time and then probably get rid of the stuff that's in this basket because I see that she's not playing with it. But for the majority of the time, I'm going to involve her in minimizing her toys. I'm going to involve her in this process. She recently was gifted a princess dress from one of her favorite Disney movies. And so we pulled out the basket that it's going to go in, and she knows the drill. We try to do one in, one out. And she said, "Okay, Mom," it was a little dress that's a little bit too small. She pulled that out and she's ready to donate it. And this is the first time she has ever done this on her own. She pulled her stuffed animal basket out and said, "Hey, Mom, let's see if I can find something to donate." She knew the basket's overflowing. It's time to purge something out of this. And so you can see that we're creating this culture with our children that they realize that stuff is just stuff, and it's not important for us to keep everything, but just to keep the things that are important to us. So the next thing I want to talk about is organization. I get asked a lot about how do we organize toys? Well, one of the things that I've really found to be true is that if you are living with minimalism, if you have developed a minimalistic lifestyle, the reality is that there's not so much need for organization. And I feel like with kids' toys, sometimes we can overcomplicate the system. Like we have all of these baskets and bins and all of these individual things for places to go. One time, my son loves Legos and has a lot of Legos, and we attempted to color coordinate the Legos, and they look so pretty in a picture. But then when he dumps a bunch of them out because he's looking for a certain piece, you're looking at an hour or two to try to clean it up. So we want to organize in a way that it's easy for our kids to learn to pick up and to clean up, but yet it still looks neat and tidy. So for example, here in the bedroom, over in the corner, she has a larger basket where she keeps all of her stuffed animals, and that's really easy for her just to throw those in. Down here in the bottom, she has a basket that's just her princess dresses, her dress up types of things. And then she just has this miscellaneous basket. This basket has a little vet kit in it. It has a pair of sunglasses. It has her roller skates. It is extremely random, but this is her toy basket, and so she can clean it up. She knows what she's doing with it. And it's the same thing for downstairs. That's the only other place that we keep toys. We have a closet, and in that closet, like I said, there are 2 baskets that she cannot get to on her own that has some blocks and some puzzles. And then she has her little people, but then she also has a miscellaneous basket. And so with organizing toys, I encourage you to go through and decide the toys that are important for your kids to keep, that you know they really want to play with. If you're having trouble deciding, take some of them, put them in a basket, put them away, put them in your attic or up in another closet, and determine at the end of 30 or 90 days if this is something you want to bring back into this space. I truly believe that as you minimize your children's toys, that your children will use their creative minds so much more, that they will begin a lot of pretend play when they're not overwhelmed with so many toys to play with. So first step is going to be to minimize, to determine, okay, what space am I going to keep toys in? And then only keep toys in that space. You have decided this is where they're going, and we're not going to let them overtake an entire room. We're just going to have them in these certain baskets. And then once you've done that, decide the best way to organize them. And if you have really young children, I encourage you to maybe just make it where it's one basket at a time they have access to. I used to do that when my son was little. We would sort of rotate the baskets out so he could make a mess, but it was just with that one little basket. It was really easy to clean up. And that way it wasn't overwhelming to him. And if he got tired of those toys, we'd put those toys away and pull out another basket. The last tip I would like to share with you is regarding this little basket up here. It says toys for later. So obviously this is way out of her reach. And what I do with this is these are lots of times little gifts that she receives or something that she may get in her Christmas stocking, little art sets with markers, or she has one little basket that has a little felt princesses and all these different little things. These are great toys for when you're traveling, or say you have to go to a meeting or something and you have to bring your children, and so you're looking for something new and quiet for them to play with. I keep those kinds of things up here, and we'll be ready to go on a trip, and she usually knows there'll be something new, fresh, and exciting in her backpack. And so that's a way, rather than introducing these toys into the home where there's already so many toys, I keep them up in this basket, and that way I have something new, fresh, and exciting to keep her entertained if I need to do that. I know this has been a lot of information because toys are something that I'm asked about so much, and I feel like I have a lot to share about it because we have truly transformed our home by really minimizing the amount of toys that we have here. But I do believe that if you will follow these tips, that you will find that your children will awaken their imaginative play, their creativity, and you will find more margin in your life. If you've enjoyed these videos, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button, the bell, and that way you'll be notified when the next video goes live. Thank you so much for joining along in this journey.